this is everything I cut off the back bumper. Welcome back to another video. As always, if you're new here, welcome to the channel. Today, doing something pretty exciting, and I've already gotten a little bit ahead of myself. As you can see, I'm starting to take off the rear bumper, and what I'm doing with that is I'm going to add GT500 mufflers to this. Now, as you guys know, if you watched some of my last videos about this car, it is 100% straight pipe. No cats, no resonators, no mufflers, and the drone is just insane in the car, and I've talked about it a little bit. And I bought some GT500 mufflers and a GT500 valence to give quad tips and hopefully quieten it down a little bit inside the car while still making it sound really good outside. So I'm going to go ahead and take off the bumper, because I'm going to go ahead and put the valence on the bumper before I try to mock the exhaust up, so that way I know where it needs to line up at. And the exhaust is supposed to be straightforward, but the person who owned it before me, as you can see, welded this instead of using, you know, the Ford factory clamps that makes it easy. They decided to make life a lot harder for me, so I'm going to end up having to cut that. And what I'm going to try to do is cut this out and maybe pull it off from under there, smooth this out so I can reuse this, so I don't have to spend $400 on, you know, new pipes. So hopefully I can get that to work. I think if I can cut this off from here, smooth that out, the new one should hopefully fit up and be pretty alright, and I'll still be able to have some adjustability. So we're going to take these out, but first I'm going to take the bumper off. And like I said, I got a little ahead of myself, but I went ahead and just did mainly the easy stuff, like this panel here. You've just got two little twist pins and everything in there, and then the tail light's super easy. Just 3 nuts on the back and a connector, and they come out. And now I'm gonna get to the bumper, which is a Phillips, another, looks like 3 Phillips, and this little mud shield comes off, and then this whole side pops out after you get the 2 little push pins out from under here. Same thing on the other side, and then there's 2 little push pins in the middle, and then this whole bumper should pop off. And don't forget to undo your clip. That's going to be plugged in about right there. Just undo that and you pull the whole bumper off. I was going to try to do it with the bumper on, but there's just no room to get a saw or anything in there, so I'm going to go ahead and get to pulling all that stuff out, and then I'll get to cutting up this bumper. Alright guys, so got the rear bumper completely off, and what I'm going to do is there's a little line, you can see it's like an indentation Ford puts in here. There's tons of videos out here showing exactly what it all is, but I mean, I'll do it again. But there's a little line, it's a little dirty. It's probably better if you get a marker, but I'm just going to go off it by hand, and you'll just follow that line all the way down, and you'll cut all of this up through here off. You got to take out this little piece, and then your little reflectors, which all these do is push down on the tops here and the bottoms here, and they just force that out. Then your little clips, you just push in on these both, those pop out. So I'm gonna leave those out because I'm gonna paint those black because they're red right now. And then that's pretty much done. And then once you cut that out, you've got these to cut out, these little holes, and then that's where some of the other clips will go into for it. And then once you cut all those out, it should be ready to slap the GT500 valence on, and then we'll get to trying to get those exhaust tips off. So let's go. All right guys, so it is a few days later. I've got the lower valence on. I didn't show too much of that, but I mean, it's pretty straightforward. There's a line on there that tells you exactly where to cut what. There's a few videos out there that shows like really in depth, but this kit came with everything you need. Super nice. This kit is the GT500 valence and muffler kit from LMR. No, it's not sponsored, but this is probably, if you're going new, LMR is probably the cheapest place you're gonna get this kit if this is what you're wanting. And if you get it secondhand, you can get it a lot cheaper, but There's not a lot of people selling these full kits like that. So as you can see, I've got the exhaust chopped out. I was gonna try to use my old over axle tubes, and that's kind of what is been the holdup, because the people who had it before me, as you can see, this joint, this is where the clamp used to go. Well, these very, very bright people decided to weld it instead of just using, you know, a clamp that Ford put on there from factory. So I had to end up cutting this thing off. There's the driver's side over axle. The passenger side over axle is still in there. I just got to loosen up the clamp up front. And this is what I was waiting on. This is from Lethal Performance, and this is new over axle pipes. And these are just straight through pipes. Like that had a resonator delete on it and all that stuff. This just doesn't have any of that. So I think this is the driver's side. I don't know if you can tell, it's got kind of a bend to it, and then this pipe will go over the axle, and then there's another pipe that is the actual bend. I believe it's this one, so it'll go kind of up and over like that, come out, and then you'll attach your pipe to it. Comes with a clamp. I might get a new clamp, not real sure yet. They give you the straight ones, but I kind of want to get the ones that step down. I feel like those kind of seal a little better, but we'll see how this one goes. And really not a bad price. Quality looks pretty good. I mean, it's Lethal Performance. I don't think they'd really sell anything that was crap. So got all that. It's gonna make it a whole lot better. From what I've heard, those make it sound a little deeper too, so that'll be kind of cool to see how all that goes, especially with the new exhaust setup. So let's get up under the car. I'm just going to loosen up those two little bolts for the clamp, slide that pipe off, and then I'll start putting all this stuff together. All right, guys, so driver's side is in. I think I got that pretty lined up and good. Looks amazing. Even the pipes under here look really, really good. Just need the one. But I got the other over axle pipe off, and I will say, if you don't have a lift and you're replacing these over axle pipes, because I mean, I got this up pretty high, about as high as I can get it, and I still had to cut a little bit before here to get those off, because they would not slide over the axle. They were hitting just about everything under there. So I did have to cut that. It's kind of a bummer, because now, you know, all that's basically scrap metal. Can't, I mean, somebody could maybe buy it and weld it back together, but nobody's gonna want to. So that's kind of a bummer, but I think this is gonna look, I mean, it already looks amazing, but it's gonna sound, I feel like, a whole lot better. So let's go ahead, get back under there. All of this is super, super simple stuff. Literally just clamps from the factory. Now, if you're like me and it's welded, it's gonna take you a minute. But after all that old welded stuff is out, that new stuff goes back in and clamps in like 5 minutes. Like, it took me, I don't know, 10 minutes maybe to get that stuff in, lined up, and bolted in. So not bad at all. Super, super excited to hear how it's gonna sound after this, because straight pipes are cool and all, but they get old very fast, and the drone inside this car was nuts. So hopefully this will fix that and still make it sound really, really good. And quad tips, I mean, that's awesome. So anyways, let's get to installing this passenger side, and then I will show you guys what it looks like after and what it sounds like. Now, I don't have these lights in yet. I still got to paint them black because they're red. I'm just not a big fan of that. I'm just gonna go ahead and paint them black, and it'll look a lot better. So those are gonna be maybe a couple days, or at least a couple days, because I'm gonna like clear them and everything, try to make them look half decent. So it's gonna be like a day to paint, day to cure, all that good stuff, and I'll throw those in there. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll be able to see the pictures of this 100% done if I don't show it at some point in this video. So again, let's get to that passenger side. I'm excited. Let's go. All right, guys, so both sides are in. Took me a little bit longer to get the passenger side in and lined up where I wanted it, but I think they're pretty even. I'll show some more tomorrow of the way they look, but it got dark, so this is where I'm going to end off tonight. I will drop the car back down, check for any fitment issues. The pipes don't hang any lower than the factory ones. Plus, Lethal Performance actually has a video where they did one on a lowered Mustang, and there were no fitment issues there either. So once we do end up lowering this car, I think that'll be fine as well. But it looks great, and I think it's gonna sound really, really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it down, and you guys will see me tomorrow when it's bright and I can actually show you guys everything in the daytime. So let's go. All right, guys, so got everything on the car. You can probably see it a little bit behind me, but I don't really want to show you fully yet. This is all the stuff I took off the car with the boxes with the new stuff. Those are the tips and a couple drink cans in there. This is everything I cut off the back bumper. It's been sitting in this pile for about, I don't know, a week now, just so I can finish filming this. So you're gonna cut off quite a bit. The kit that I got comes with these new, so I didn't have to peel those back off. But it's pretty terrifying, you know, if you've never done anything like this before. I mean, a new bumper for these aren't that much, but getting them painted and everything like that kind of sucks. So you want to make sure you do this right. But like I said, there's a line you follow. It's really almost kind of impossible to mess it up unless you're just really not being careful at all. So this whole thing really was not that bad whatsoever. You could definitely do this, I mean, in your driveway. You don't need a garage. I did it on the bed of the truck, and really came out great. So I'm going to show you guys what it looks like with the tips in and everything. And there they are, guys. I think they look really, really good. It's super, super easy to line these up. You just have to undo the clamp at where the muffler meets the rest of the pipes, and just put them where you want them, tighten it back down, and it's good to go. Now, I did have to adjust them again after I got them on the first time. That one kind of wanted to wander over to the side. I'm assuming the heat kind of let all the metal and everything settle, and it just kind of settled over to the side. All I did was undo that, brought it back over. It's perfect now. And then I had to do this one by the time we got back home, because we took it on about an hour-long ride yesterday, and it kind of wanted to wander over to the side a little bit, but put it back in, did that one. I changed that one before I left, and it didn't move at all, so that's why I'm chalking it up to just the metal settling. This one did the same thing by the time we got home, so I just now got done moving it over, getting it done, and it looks so good. Now I need to, still a couple things I need to do to tie up the back end. There'll be the third brake light, new tail lights, and I wanted to do the GT gas lid thing, delete, get a smooth deck lid panel, and really thinking about the RTR license plate cutout. That looks awesome to me, but it's really coming together, guys. And if you saw too, I painted the reflectors black. I didn't use any kind of tint or anything. I just used black paint, and I mean, they look pretty good. So we'll see how those hold up. If they start flaking or anything, maybe I'll look into getting new ones that are actually black or something, or just respraying them with actual tint or something like that. But it looks amazing. So I don't know how well you can see it, but you can see the pipes up under there, not hanging down any more than the old ones did, and they look really good. Give it a pretty good sound too. It's a lot deeper than the old one, and I don't know, they're just, especially for the price point, they're not bad at all. See the new mufflers, and the cool thing about these mufflers is they're like Ford, they're OEM Ford pieces, so like you're not getting any kind of knockoff GT500 mufflers. They are legitimate from factory for GT500 mufflers, so that's pretty cool. And like I said, we did take it on an hour-long trip yesterday, and the drone is 100% gone, and it still sounds pretty good on the outside. You can't hear it much on the inside anymore, but you can a little bit, obviously, because it's V8. But I'm going to start it up and let you guys hear what this thing sounds like, because I still think it sounds really, really good, and it's a lot more bearable, especially outside, especially on a cold start. So here's gonna be the first cold start you guys are gonna hear, so let's go. Alright, so as you guys can hear, it's a whole lot more tame, and I can actually talk to you guys behind the car. So now, well, it's not as cool, I guess, for YouTube to not have a straight piped Coyote. It's a lot better on my ears, a lot more fun for me, the wife, and the kid to take this thing out on drives, especially longer trips, and, you know, not have our ears ringing after we get out from all the drone. And those GT500 mufflers just, they sound, now, anybody who's more partial to Coyotes, they're probably gonna hate me for this, but I think the, what is the 99 to 04? I think it's 99 to 04 2-valve GT is probably one of the best sounding Mustangs that I've ever heard. They just sound amazing, and this actually reminds me a lot of what those sound like. So it actually makes me really, really happy, because while the performance of those aren't the best, they sound incredible, and this reminds me a lot of what they sound like. So if you really love that 2-valve tone, it's deep, it's, I don't know, it's just really, really nice tone, then you will definitely benefit from this upgrade. And it just looks so, so good. If you can see it again, just from back here. And so now I guess really the only thing I have left to do is figure out how much further I have to take it before I can slap some GT500 badges on it. That's a joke. Everybody gets so mad. I've got a few groups that everybody does that, and they get really irritated. It's like sacrilege in the Mustang community. I'm still new to it, so I'm kind of experiencing all this for the first time, but it's funny. But anyways, so yeah, this is it, guys. It sounds so much better. There's no drone whatsoever, even without having cats or the resonators, and the tone is so good. I mean, you guys can hear it. The camera probably will not do it justice like normal. I mean, that's pretty much it, guys. Didn't want to go too much into doing everything, just because it's super simple, especially if you don't have everything welded. The bumper, there's a line to cut everything out. The exhaust is all just clamps like this, like it's all literally clamped up. And then the only thing, if you don't have a lift like I didn't, I just use jack stands and a jack, you will have to cut these mid pipes if you're changing them. If you're not changing them and they're not welded or anything, you don't even have to mess with them. You just slap the new mufflers on and you're good to go. You save that whole step. But like I said, from where mine was welded, had to cut it, get them out, put the new ones in. So the new ones are great because the new ones are in 2 pieces. So I mean, if you guys saw how I pulled them out, you just put the one side in the front, get the other side over the axle, no muss, no fuss, super easy. And the result is, I mean, it speaks for itself, I think. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you liked it better straight piped, let me know. I loved the sound, don't get me wrong, but certain times it just got to be too much, and I want to enjoy this car, and I know my wife wants to enjoy the car, my son loves the car, and you know, I just wanted to be able to do that and not every now and then just dread kind of driving the thing. So this is where I'm gonna end this video off, guys. Hit that like button if you guys like this video. Hit that subscribe button if you guys like the content I'm putting out and want to see more. Leave a comment down below if you have any comments, questions, concerns about anything I did in this video. Like I said, I know I left a lot out, but there are tons of other videos that go deep in depth with this, and I just didn't want to recirculate that content, or I guess recreate that content just off my channel. Go follow me on all my socials. They'll be at the end cards at the end of this video and in the description below. If you guys want to get this kit, again, it's not sponsored, but it's lmr.com. It's the GT500 Muffler and Valence kit. I'll leave a link to that in the description below. And then the over axle pipes from Lethal Performance, I will also leave those in the description below. And again, this is where I'm going to leave you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next time.